What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. We're here with an EU-friendly live stream, and we're going to be ASMR opening a good old Salamangreat structure deck, as we haven't done an opening on the channel for this yet. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. This is really the kind of thing and content I don't want to be making, but the stream has demanded it, and by selling out really nice, we're gonna go ahead and be doing it. We're not a pack opening channel, by the way. So first, we have this really nice playmat, and yeah, this is pretty fire, if I do say so myself. By the way, I swear this isn't a condom. This is actually a Dark Magician Girl token, so get your mind out of the gutter. Alright, first thing I see is the promotion of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links and my Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, so that's actually not gonna be where I want to go with this deck. Now, I don't know how to open this with my bare hands, so bear with me for a bit. We got the corner out there. We're trying not to create marked cards. Chat's also trying real hard to make me laugh, so we can't be having that. Alright, cards face the camera, right? But then I have to read them, so. We've got Salamangreat Heat Leo. This is a 2+ fire effect monsters. If this card is link summoned, you can target one card in your opponent's spell and trap zone. Shuffle it into the deck once per turn during your main phase. And if this card was link summoned using Salamangreat Heat Leo as material, you can target one face-up monster on the field and one monster in your graveyard. The attack of the first target becomes equal to the other target until the end of this turn. There is no better bedtime story. Here we have Magistello, or let's actually rate Mirage Stelio. Alright, this is a Sutff Xyz effect. Let me get my mouth in here real quick. There we go, that's a much better view, isn't it? You can detach one material from this card and special summon a Salamangreat monster from your deck in defense position. You cannot activate monster effects for the rest of this turn except fire effect monsters if this Xyz summon card was sent to the graveyard as material for the link summon of a Salamangreat monster. You can target one monster on the field, return it to the hand. You can only use each effect of Salamangreat Mirage Stelio once per turn. That's Mirage Stelio. So, oops, sorry, I've messed up the whole video. A lot of people try to cheat on Dueling Book, and they try to turn this into this, but this reads that its materials are 1 level 4 or lower Cyber's monster. So the problem here is this doesn't have any levels. It's an Xyz monster. You cannot turn this into this. Please stop doing that. So this is Bale Links. 1 level 4 lower Cyber's monsters, I've already said. It's a link 1/500. If this card is link summoned, you can add one Salamangreat Sanctuary from your deck to your hand. If a Salamangreat card or cards you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You can only use each effect of Salamangreat Balings once per turn. Here we have Gazelle in its super rare form. Sutff's effect monster. Oh boy, can we end on a holo? If a Salamangreat monster is sent to your graveyard, except Salamangreat Gazelle, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send a Salamangreat card from your deck to the graveyard, except Salamangreat Gazelle. You can only use each effect of Salamangreat Gazelle once per turn. See, I did that closer to the mic this time. Here we have Salamangreat Spinny, a Sutff's effect. If you control a Salamangreat card, you can discard this card, then target one face-up monster on the field. It gains 500 attack until the end of this turn. If you control a Salamangreat monster other than Salamangreat Spinny, and this card is in your graveyard, special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effective Salamangreat spinny once per turn. Here's Salamangreat Circle, also a holographic card. Activate one of these effects. Add a Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand. Target one Salamangreat Link monster you control that was Link summoned using a monster with its same name as a material. That Link is unaffected by monster effects this turn except its own. You can only activate one Salamangreat Circle per turn. This is used for recursion in the deck. Salamangreat Roar. When a spell/trap card or monster effect is activated while you control a Salamangreat monster, Link monster specifically, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. While this card is in the graveyard, if a Salamangreat Link monster is Link summoned to your field using a monster with its same name as a material, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use one Salamangreat Roar effect per turn, and only once that turn. Salamangreat Raccoon. Not a hollow anymore. Cypher's effect. When your Salamangreat monster is targeted for an attack by an opponent's monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, then target those two monsters that would battle. Gain life points equal to the attack of the opponent's monster. Also, your targeted monster cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. Basically, this wins in time. Time is important in Yu-Gi-Oh! When your Salamangreat monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use the effect of Salamangreat Raccoon once per turn. Here's Salamangreat Mole. It's not played in the meta. Here's Salamangreat Fowl. It's not played in the meta. Here's Salamangreat Beat Bison, not to be confused with the Buffalo card that's going around. Here's Salamangreat Mirror. Really up to you. Here's Foxy. Here's a relevant card. Salamangreat Foxy is a Cypher's effect. When this card is normal summoned, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, add one excavated Salamangreat card to your hand. Also shuffle the rest into your deck. If this card is in your graveyard, you can place one face-up spell/trap. If this card is sent to your graveyard and a face-up spell or trap is on the field, you can discard one Salamangreat card, special summon this card, and you can destroy one face-up spell or trap on the field. You can only use one Salamangreat Foxy effect per turn and only once that turn. Here's Salamangreat Falco. It's a bird. Cypher's effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Salamangreat spell/trap in your graveyard. Set that target to the field. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Salamangreat monster you control, except Salamangreat Falco. Return that monster to the hand. And if you do special summon this card, you can only use one Salamangreat Falco effect per turn, and only once that turn. Here's Jack Jaguar. He also matters, unlike some of the other cards. He's a Cypher's effect. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. If you control a Salamangreat Link monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Salamangreat monster in your graveyard except Salamangreat Jack Jaguar. Shuffle that target into the deck. And if you do, special summon this card to zone your Salamangreat monster Link points to. You can only use this effect of Salamangreat Jack Jaguar once per turn. That is a beefy 1800 attack that pierces. Also important for time. Here's Wolfie. He doesn't matter. Here's Barrow. Also doesn't matter. Here's Foxer. Probably dates Foxy. That's all that matters. Here's the True King Agnimazon, the Vanisher. He's an old guy. He's pretty cool. I'll actually read him. This is True King Agnimazon, the Vanisher, a worm effect. If this card is in your hand, you can destroy 2 other monsters in your hand and or face up on the field, including a fire monster. And if you do, special summon this card. And if you do that, you can banish one monster from the graveyard. or your opponent's field or graveyard if both the destroyed monsters were fire. If this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can add one non-fire worm monster from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use each effect of True King Agnimazot the Vanisher once per turn. Hey, I'm reading chat. This is fine. Here's Dokkaron, the Mad Flame Kaiju. Basically, it reads, you can special summon this card from your hand to the opponent's field in attack position by tributing one monster they control. You can basically stop reading it there. Flameville Fire Dog. This used to be relevant in like 2009 or 2007, I forget. Fencing Fire Ferret. This is one of Akino's favorite cards. It reads, it's a common, so it's really easy to buy out, and now there's way too many quantities on the market to continue. Inferno is actually a really good card. It's a pyro effect, cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing a fire monster from your graveyard. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict 1500 damage to your opponent. However, Salamangreats operate by using effects from the graveyard, so you probably should not be playing this card in Salamangreats. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. We've pulled the most expensive card in the deck. I'm shaking. I'm literally shaking. I don't know if I can control it. Okay, reel it back in. Reel it back in. Alright, we're good. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring reads Zombie Tuner effect. When a card or effect is activated that includes any of these effects, quick effect, you can discard this card, negate that effect, add a card from the deck to the hand, special summon from the deck, send a card from the deck to the graveyard. You can only use this effect of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring once per turn. Please remember that once per turn at the bottom there. I can't believe I pulled that card. Red Resonator. If you're a Jack Atlas fan, you probably care. Volcanic Shell has mattered in many metas. Mostly index decking a Volcanic Engine or using the new Blaze Accelerator trap card. When I say new because it's one of the newest Volcanic supports. It actually went undefeated at a YCS in Swiss. Oh look, there's two of them. I really wanted that. Format Skipper is actually really cool. Let's go ahead and read him. Format Skipper is a cipher / effect. During your main phase, you can reveal one link monster in your extra deck, and if you do, when you link summon this turn, you can treat this card as link material with the same name, type, and attribute as the revealed monster. Basically, this can also become a nightmare for your Nightmare Mermaid, and you can link a Nightmare Mermaid. That's probably more relevant than in this deck. That's where I'm going to stop reading him. Salamangreat Claw. It's the Claw. So Salamangreat Sanctuary, if you read this card, you might win a YCS Finals. If you link summon a Salamangreat Link monster, you can use one Salamangreat Link monster you control with the same name as the entire material. During damage calculation, if your monster battles, you can pay 1,000 life points, then target one Link monster you control. Make its attack 0, and if you do gain life points equal to its original attack, you can only use each effect of Salamangreat Sanctuary once per turn. So that life point game is really important in time. Please learn it. It resolves all in one chain. Will of the Salamangreats. They're pretty willful considering they've taken over, almost 50% of the meta. Monster Reincarnation is about as relevant as me in the current metagame. Circle of the Fire Kings once upon a time could have mattered, but alas, we wait. Transmodify is a word that gets you demonetized on YouTube. Link Bound has pretty cool art. Don't tell my wife, I think it's cool because of how the girl is positioned on the card. Magic Planter is pretty cool for drawing cards if you need more draw power off of stuff being face up on the field. It reads send a face up continuous trap you control the graveyard. Draw 2 cards. Not really sure how that fits in here. Let's find out. Salamangreat Rage. We're going to read this real mad. We're going to read it real mad. Activate one of these effects. Send one Salamangreat monster from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard, then target one card on the field and destroy it. Target one Salamangreat link monster you control that was link summoned using a monster with its same name as a material. Destroy cards your opponent controls up to that link rating. That means how many links it takes. You can activate one Salamangreat Rage per turn. Salamangreat gift. This isn't a gift I want to receive, but there's the continuous trap. This card used to be a deck, but DD grows just way better. Threatening roar is how I feel when you assume my gender. Break off trap hole. When a link monster is link summoned, destroy all monsters on the field that are not linked. Yikes. Backfire. If a face-up fire monsters you control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Yikes. Also, continuous trap. Goes in match. Alright. Here's a floodgate. That's all you need to know. Salamangreat Heat Leo. 2+ fire effect monsters. If this card is link summoned. Wait, didn't we read this already? Haha, got him. Oh, where's our Sunlight Wolf? We didn't get a Sunlight Wolf. Why didn't we pack a Sunlight Wolf? Where's Sunlight Wolf? I don't see it. I just see this card. And that's gonna be it from John Moore's ASMR. Thanks for watching, everybody.